Hello and welcome to House and TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Flor Ani. Our top stories. Former Inspector General of Police Solomon Arates passes away at 69. Tree constructs 14 kilometers to Cook Road boosts access to UNESCO heritage site. NDLEA arrests 75 years old grandpa destroys 178,000 kgs crude pan in Taraba. From the first scene, Afghan earthquake of magnitude 6 kills 622, injures over 1,500. Now the news in detail. Nigeria's former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Ayegatu Arase, has died at the age of 69. Arase was born on June 21, 1956, reportedly passed away on Sunday at Cedar Christ Hospital in Abuja. His death has been confirmed by senior officers of the Nigerian Police Force, with news of his passing circulating across internal communication platforms of top-ranking police officers. The late arrester served as the 18th Inspector General of Police, and after his retirement from the force was appointed chairman of the Police Service Commission, where he continued to contribute to national security and police reforms. Details regarding funeral arrangement are expected to be announced by his family and the Police Service Commission in due course. In an effort to strengthen women's role in peace and security across Nigeria, security agencies and stakeholders are calling on government at all levels to ensure full inclusion of women in peace and security strategies. The call was made during an engagement on deepening dialogue and advancing inclusion of women, peace and security strategies in Kaduna State. The lead communication officer of the Ladies Empowerment Goals and Support Initiatives, Hadiza Ismail, noted the low participation of women in Nigeria's peace and security architecture, highlighting gaps of lack of awareness, underfunding, poor coordination, and limited inclusion of women in conflict zones, despite the adoption of Nigeria's National Action Plan on Women, Peace and Security in 2013, in line with the United Nations Security Council resolution urging for stronger action.
Engaging women enough in women and peace and security issues. Women are not engaged enough. Women are taking the back seat, and will I say ironically, women are most affected when it comes to conflict issues, when it comes to insecurity. Women are usually the ones most affected. But again, why are these women not participating in decision making when it comes to peace and security issues or peace building generally? So this program is kind of an eye-opener, trying to enlighten people to be aware of the issue of the concept of women, peace and security. Even apart from the concept, also to be aware that there is actually an umbrella body, which is the UNSCR 1325 resolution on women, peace and security, which is where this whole program is stemming from. What is it all about? What are the national action plans that have been developed in Nigeria now under the UN? But we still wanted to deliberate because we know that there are gaps that have been identified, and we're hoping that those gaps will be addressed.
Also, peace advocates and learning managers stress the vital roles women play in early warning, community mediation, and grassroots peace building. They urge government to move from policy statement to concrete implementation, insisting that sustainable peace requires localization driven by community leaders, women's groups, and grassroots mobilization.
The key gap that we even saw was even lack of awareness. If you go down to communities in Kaduna, a lot of people are not even aware of this document. And we also have the issue of political will. We need to see people at that level. We need to see our DT bearers moving more muscles, not really having these laws in place. You have to include women. Women bring in perspective that sometimes as male folk, they don't see that perspective when they are doing mediation, when they are trying to come about strategies to bring an end to some of these issues that we're seeing. There is need for government, to other stakeholders, to bring women on board to see how, as a society now, as a community now, how do we come together as men and women to bring about development of our society as a whole, so that it will be for the betterment of all.
Participants expressed delight, noting that it was their first time learning about women, peace, and security, and the discussions changed their perspective on the role of women as key players in peace building. The engagement concluded that Nigeria's future peace and security will only be sustainable if women are fully included at every level of governance, policymaking, and grassroots action. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has recorded sweeping victories in its nationwide crackdown on illicit drugs, destroying over 178,000 kilograms of skunk in Taraba State and arresting multiple suspects, including a 70-year-old grandpa, Uchelu Ikechukwu, in Anambra, and a major drug kingpin in Ekiti. This was contained in a statement signed by Femi Baba, Director of Media and Advocacy, NDLEA headquarters in Abuja. NDLEA operatives also made major seizures along transport routes at the Abuja-Kaduna toll gate, a fuel tanker concealing 104,900 tramadol capsules suspected to be headed for insurgents in Borno was intercepted, with driver Hassan Buba arrested. In Zaria, 45-year-old Kabir Suleiman was caught with 34.15 kg of skunk. Meanwhile, the NDLEA's wars against drug abuse continue with sensitization lectures in schools, advocacy visits to religious leaders, traditional rulers, government institutions, and corporate organizations across the Federation, including engagement with the Anglican Church Diocese of Abakaliki, His Royal Majesty Dr. Weno Aholo Menutonye, Akran of Badagry, and Ogun State First Lady Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun. Chairman, CEO of NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Mawar, commended the Taraba, Anambra, Kaduna, Kano, Nasarawa, Adamawa, Gombe, Lagos, Ekiti, Ondo, and Edo commands for their successes. He praised officers nationwide for combining tough interdiction with continuous advocacy, ensuring that drug barons are exposed while young Nigerians are educated on the dangers of drug abuse. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo, on behalf of the people of Edo State, mourns the death of a revered son of the soil, former Inspector General of Police Dr. Suleiman Ahigato Arase, who passed away this weekend. In a statement by his Chief Press Secretary Fred Itue, Governor Okpebholo described the late IGP as a patriotic Nigerian and an illustrious Edo-Stan whose contributions to the country's security architecture were immeasurable. The governor highlighted Arase's distinguished career in the Nigerian police force, noting that his tenure as the 18th Inspector General of Police was marked by significant reforms and commitment to professionalism and community policing. The governor extends his deepest sympathies to the Arase family and the entire Nigerian police force, urging them to take solace in the fact that he lived a life of purpose, impacting positively on all who came in contact with him. Governor Okpebholo prayed for the peaceful repose of the soul of the departed and for the Almighty God to grant his family the fortitude to bear his irreparable loss. We'll take a pause here. Up next are news stories from the Bill sector.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Welcome back. Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Now to the Bill sector. Adamawa State Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri has completed the construction of the 14-kilometer Sukuk Road in Madagali local government area. The newly constructed road, which features 12-cell and 6-cell covert, now provides a modern access route to the Sukuk cultural landscape, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Previously, the poor condition of the road made it difficult for residents visitors and tourists to reach the historic site, which is globally recognized for its ancient terraces, traditional palace, and unique cultural heritage. The completion of the project is expected to ease the movement of people and goods, stimulate local economic activities, and strengthen the tourism potential of Madagali and Adamawa State at large. Local communities have welcomed the development, describing it as a long-awaited intervention that will improve their daily lives and attract more visitors to the region. The project underscores Governor Finteri's commitment to expanding infrastructure in rural areas while positioning Adamawa as a hub for cultural tourism and investment. The federal government has said many federal workers are unable to access housing loan schemes. This is as a result of having mortgaged their salaries through multiple loans from commercial lending agencies. The Executive Secretary of Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board, Haji Ahmed, explained that the heavy loan deductions from workers' salaries make them ineligible for housing loans. This she disclosed at the Permanent Secretary's Quarterly Forum with union leaders organized by the Service Welfare Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation recently. Ahmed said the situation was worrisome because the board had increased its loan ceiling to 20 million naira for senior workers to benefit, adding that the government had also created a special scheme for officers on grade levels 8 to 14. She explained that the board was partnering with mortgage institutions and private developers to make housing more affordable for civil servants. Declaring the forum open, the Permanent Secretary Service Welfare Office and the Office of HCSF Patience Oyekunle said the engagement was to strengthen dialogue between the government and unions on issues of staff welfare, industrial harmony, and productivity. According to her, the government has introduced several initiatives under the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan for 2021 to 2025. Oyekunle used the forum to list all the welfare initiatives by the government, including the resuscitation of the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund and the provision of free medical services at the office of the HCSF complex. On his part, the Deputy General Manager of NSITF, Usman Tumsa, stated that the trust fund was simplifying its claims process and digitizing applications to ensure timely compensation for workplace accident and death. He assured the federal civil servants are automatically covered under the Employee Compensation Scheme, while efforts are ongoing to sensitize MDAs to compliance. From the foreign scene, more than 600 people were killed and over 1,500 injured in one of Afghanistan's worst earthquakes, authorities said, as helicopters ferried the wounded to hospitals after they were plucked from rubble being combed for survivors. The disaster will further stress the resources of South Asian nation already grappling with humanitarian crisis, from a sharp drop in aid to a harsh pushback of its citizens from neighboring countries. The quake of magnitude 6 killed at least 622 people in the eastern provinces of Kunar and Nagaha, the Taliban-run Afghan Interior Ministry said, with more than 1,500 injured and numerous houses destroyed. In Kabul, the capital, health authorities says rescuers were racing to reach remote hamlets, dotting an area with a long history of earthquakes and floods. The earthquake was Afghanistan's deadliest since June 2022, when tremor of magnitude 6.1 killed at least 1,000 people. That's the most we can take on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Former Inspector General of Police Solomon Laraze passes away at 69. Fintere constructs 14 kilometers Supreme Road, boosts access to UNESCO heritage sites. NDLEA arrests 75-year-old grandpa destroys 178,000 kg skunk farm in Taraba. From the foreign scene, Afghan earthquake of magnitude 6 kills 622, injures over 1,500. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube and follow Housing TV on all social media platforms. Download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected. I am Flora Ani. Bye for now.